Brad Lawler over at Home Team Inspection Service. Sammy has a 2-year-old home in Norton Commons, is selling it, just received a repair request based on an inspection of the home, and Sammy's not quite sure what to make of it. I sent this to you, Brad.
Yeah.
What does this mean?
So there is a flexible pipe called CSST, coated stainless steel tubing.
Mhm.
It is very, very common in commonly installed in homes. The question that comes up and the question that arose on that particular inspection was the inspector used some inflammatory language that we want to be careful about, because if you go out on the internet and you just, look for CSST danger, you're going to have all sorts of things pop up. And one of the things that they claim is that if CSST, which is metal tubing with a polyvinyl chloride wrap on it, coating on it, if it's not bonded, okay, it's not connected to the electrical grounding system of the house in some way, then they claim that it has a risk of blowing your house up. Okay. Now, here's the thing about it. The claim is that if your house is hit by lightning, then it can cause a hole in the very, very thin metal that is this flexible piping. And if that happens, then you have a gas leak, you have an explosion. The problem is that the there was only code that went in, I think it was like 2006, if I remember right, that CSST had to be grounded by a what they call a jumper wire. So a lot of this piping that's out there has been installed correctly by a plumber. It's been installed correctly at the point that it is bonded, it is grounded. It's not always visible though as to where those wires are. So a home inspector and home teams the same way. We look for those grounding wires, but if we don't see them, or more specifically a bonding wire, if we don't see them, then we simply make note of the fact that the system may not be bonded, but an electrician would have to check the continuity to make sure that it is properly bonded or grounded. So here's a fun fact for you, Bob.
Mm.
52% of home fires are caused in the kitchen. Okay, 52%. Lightning strikes to a home account for less than 2% of all house fires. And of that, no one tracks how much, CSST. But if you have a giant 2 million volt surge of, lightning struck directly on your house, to me, CSST would be the last thing I'd be worried about. So I think that if it's not a do-it-yourself job, I don't encourage anybody to go out, get CSST and install it themselves, but install correctly by a plumber. I think your worry is very limited.
Would you?
But I want to say one thing,
Yeah.
because Indiana does have a little bit different opinion on it. In Kentucky, our local utilities don't shut houses off if the CSST is not correctly bonded. In Indiana, they may, because
Mm.
the utilities in Indiana will sometimes come in and see that the CSST is not correctly bonded, and they will cut the gas off to the house until it can be correctly bonded. It's not a hard project to do. An electrician can bond it very easily, very simply. It's not a problem. But Kentucky, it's not as big of a concern. Indiana, we do know that they will shut off gas until those things are corrected.
Would you tell Sammy to go back, since the house is only 2 years old, go back to the builder and
Yep.
then the plumber and ask
Mhm.
the plumbing company to show some proof
Yeah,
that it has been checked and
right.
bonded, right?
Absolutely, because we don't always see, home inspectors can't always see the point at which it is bonded. We can't, a lot of these things are covered up. We don't know where they've been bonded. So the plumber knows where they put it. The electrician can easily test it. So yeah, it is something you want to double check, but it's not, again, it's not something that we're all concerned that, our houses are going to, blow up if lightning strikes nearby. But some of the things you read on the internet, that's
Hmm.
how they portray it.
Okay, got it. If you are thinking about selling and you want to see, well, what does the Sokoler team do? How are their agents? How is Bob? Go to LouisvilleZillow.com or LouisvilleGoogle.com. That's where our reviews reside and gives you a chance to see what people are saying about us.